Hi girls, today we are going to revise Asia, climate and natural vegetation. Right? I'll just give you a brief idea about the chapter, although we have already done it, but just to give a recap to it, we all know that Asia is a continent of contrast. It has got a variety of things. We have got the highest mountain and the lowest depression. We have the rainiest area and we have the driest area, right? So when we study climate, this vastness of the continent is also a major part in variety of natural vegetation that we experience. So by and large, when we talk about the continent of Asia, we know that there are different features that are there. It has got regions which are thickly populated. It has regions which are very, very thinly populated. The forests which are found here are evergreen as well as desert forest. So this is what we are going to study in this particular chapter, right? Now let us continue to. We all know that there are certain areas that are cut from this chapter. We will be only doing the part that is there in our syllabus. So when we talk about the variation in the climatic conditions, we know that Verkhoyansk in Siberia is the coldest place. The temperature there remains minus 70. While when we talk about Jacobabad, which is in the Sindh province of Pakistan, is the hottest place. During summers, the temperature recorded is around 58 degrees Celsius. Similarly, Cherrapunji, which is in the eastern part of India, used to get the highest rainfall. And now latest, we know that Mausan Ram, which is around 13 kilometers to the east of Cherrapunji, is getting more rainfall compared to that of Cherrapunji. When we talk about the driest areas, we do have some driest deserts. The Gobi Desert is one of it, which is getting rainfall which is less than 25 centimeters. Right? Moving further in this chapter, we have done the factors that affect the climate of Asia. So let's come to these factors one by one to make it clear to you. So first factor that is there that affects the climate of Asia is the large extent of the continent. Now this extent is in the terms of latitudinal extent, which extends from places which is near the equatorial region where you have got very hot and humid conditions to the polar areas beyond the Arctic Circle where the conditions are very bitterly cold. Second factor that affects the climate of Asia is the size. It has the longest coastline. The region is influenced by the ocean. It experiences maritime climate near the coastal region, while the interior region experiences extreme conditions. That is, summers are very hot and winters are very cold. The next factor that affects the climate of Asia is the central mountain belt or the chain, which is also called as the climatic barrier. We know that in the northern region, the polar region, the temperatures are too low. So these winds which are coming from the north, especially during winters, come to the central part of Asia, right? They make the southern part of China very cold. But because of the presence of the Himalayas, they cannot enter the southern part of Asia, keeping the southern part of Asia a bit warmer compared to the northern. Another important factor that affects the climate of any place is the ocean currents. So, in the case of Asia, also, we do have some warm and some cold currents that affect the climate. Very important warm current that flows is the Kuroshio current designed towards the Japan, and the cold currents which are found there are Osho currents. The Kuroshio and the Osho currents, these are the currents that are affecting Japan, and we know that this region is rich in seafood. And both these currents, when they mix together, they lead to the conditions of fog, which is very good for the formation of planktons, which is the food for these fish which we find there, right? The last but not the least factor that affects the climate of a place is the monsoonal winds that bring the rainfall. So Asia also experiences monsoon winds which are coming from the southern part, that is from the water bodies, the Indian Ocean, the Arabian Sea, and the Bay of Bengal. These winds they affect the climate bringing monsoon in a particular season. We do not get rains throughout the year, right? So this was there in the syllabus. The distribution of rainfall is not there in the syllabus. We will not be touching it. Let us come to the type of climate and natural vegetation that is found in Asia. So the first that is there is the equatorial climate. Now, as the name suggests, equatorial, you must have understood. Equatorial climate means the climate that is found near the equator. The countries that lie in this type of climatic conditions are Malaysia, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, and southern Philippines. Being near the coast, the temperature remains more or less constant. The range of temperature is very less. So the temperature lies between 25 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius. And the range is low. What do you mean by the range of temperature is low? Because the summers and winters do not have much variation in the temperature. Neither the summers are too hot nor the winters are too cold. And there is no specific season that occurs in this particular, like we have summers and winters which are drastically cold and drastically hot. But in these regions, which that is the equatorial region, there is no specific season that occurs. The region is highly humid due to a lot of evaporation, which makes it quite oppressive. The rainfall that is experienced here is convectional and it is accompanied by thundering and lightning. Why thundering and lightning? Because every time, whenever there is a lot of evaporation, a heavy rainfall occurs in this region. And you'll find most of the important forests which are found in equatorial region, they are evergreen forest. Coming to natural vegetation that is found in this region, the hot and moist climate is ideal for the growth of dense forest. We all know that whenever there is a lot of moisture, plants, they do thrive well there. So here the trees are quite dense. That means the forest will be very thick and the trees are tall, they are evergreen, they are broad-leaved, and they are hardwood. Now, all these terms basically express that they get a lot of nourishment through water as well as soil. Why do they have broad leaves? When the forest is highly dense, the trees they generally try to gain height so that they can get the sunlight. Apart from that, the broad leaves they also provide a lot of exposure to sunlight as well as transpiration. Therefore, these trees survive well. Now, let us talk about the climbers and the creepers that are found there. Yes, they do have certain climbers and creepers which are found in these areas. Now, the major trees that we find there are ebony, rosewood, mahogany, cinchona, and coconut. Apart from these trees which are found here, like mahogany, we also have coconut, rubber, nutmeg, and sandalwood that actually thrives in this region. The world's largest flower, Rafflesia, it blooms in this region only, in the forest of Indonesia, right? So the natural vegetation in the equatorial region is quite rich. Coming to the wildlife, the forests which are found here are rich in wildlife. We do have tree climbers, that means the animals that creatures that live on the trees. We have got the baboons, the orangutans. Colorful birds are found in, especially in the regions of islands, Java and Sumatra. We do have the reptiles, they are in abundance. The lizards, snakes, which are generally found in this region. And we do have gigantic lizards too in this region. Coming to the tropical monsoon type of climate, which is experienced in the places like India, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Thailand, Vietnam, these regions experience tropical monsoon type of climate, right? Apart from this, places like Laos, Cambodia, South China, southern part of Japan, and Pakistan also experience this type of climate. The region really, generally remains hot with alternate wet and dry seasons. That means it gets rainfall in a particular season. And that season is known as the monsoon season, right? During the monsoon season, there's a lot of precipitation, heavy precipitation happens. And the pattern of monsoon winds is quite interesting to study. Why? Because the monsoon varies from one place to another depending on the relief or the physical feature of that particular region. When we talk about the natural vegetation, the tropical deciduous forest grew in the southeastern part of Asia. What does deciduous means? Deciduous type of forest are the forests, that shed their leaves for about 6 to 8 weeks during the drier seasons. They remain barren during this time so that minimum transpiration happens. The trees which are found here are teak, sandalwood, sal, maple, neem, banyan, and these trees are useful as the hardwood which they have can be used for construction purposes. Apart from this, we have cinnamon, turmeric, nutmeg. These are the spices that are grown in this region. Bamboo is quite common in this region. When we talk about the wildlife, the Asian elephant is found in large herds in wild. Other than them, there are animals like black leopards, tigers, monkeys, Indian rhinos, and black bear. White peacock is very common, is very is very rare among the common species of peacock. Coming to the next tropical hot desert, this type of climate is experienced in Thar Desert of India and Pakistan. It is also found in Iran and Saudi Arabia. Here the conditions are extremely hot and cold. It has got a large diurnal range. That means days are very hot and nights are very, very cold. When we talk about the natural vegetation which is found here in the harsh climatic conditions, we have cactus, clumps of grasses, and thorny bushes that grow. Date palms and olives are very found near the oasis, which is essential for the travelers. They are also used for export. The wildlife, in wildlife, when we study, we have got the mules, the gazelles, the camels, snakes, lizards. These are creatures that are found there. Snakes are quite and lizards are quite poisonous in these areas. Then the next climate that we have in our syllabus is the taiga or the cold temperate region. When we talk about the Arctic Ocean, the places which are near the Arctic Ocean, we have the Central Siberian region that experiences this type of climate. It is located in the south, right, of extreme cold tundra belt. It has short, cool summers and very long, cold winters. When we talk about rainfall in this region is very moderate, but it helps in the growth of the trees. And most of the time, this is covered with snow. Talking about the natural vegetation, we have the coniferous trees. Why coniferous? Because they are in the form of they're in the form of cones. They have cones as their fruits. The trees have leaves are in the form of needles. They help in sliding down the snow from it so that trees can survive. The trees which are found here are spruce, fir, pine, right? Apart from this, we also have the softwood evergreen trees. Fir, cedar are commonly grown here. These trees are the basic raw material for manufacturing of paper, pulp, and rayon. When we talk about the wildlife, we have fur-bearing animals, fox, sables, and minks are the common varieties which are found here. Mink is basically a variety of a cat that has long fur. The next and the last climatic condition that we have is the tundra type of climate. It is the extreme north, it is beyond the taiga, it is in the extreme north where we have the Siberia and the Verkhoyansk, which experiences minus 70 degrees centigrade temperature during winters. It is frozen there. It has got very short and cold summers, and the duration of winters is too long. The natural vegetation that is found in this region is in the form of